Hello, hello. So I thought I'd come on here. I am starting to pack for a fair I have this Thursday in the evening in my hometown, Port Alberni. So if you're from Port Alberni, I will be posting a poster probably tonight after the kids go to bed. That's when I have time to go on the computer. I'm just stealing a moment. I may have children ripping into my office here, but I'm starting to pack. Actually, I haven't, to be completely honest, it's not having unpacked from the last fair, trying to be wise and decide that I'll just keep things packed up for the next fair. But I do think that perhaps because it's only going to be a 3-hour event from 4 till 7, I may only do the ash tree runes. Sometimes I set up ash tree books and ash tree runes, so I may leave my books. I may bring a crate. Sometimes it's hard for me not to bring at least a small pile of books. I love trying to find books special homes, especially I know close to the holiday season people are looking for gift ideas, and for people who love older collectible books, it makes such a wonderful gift. So I'll probably bring a few, but I'll probably keep it to a minimum this fair because it's shorter and focus a little bit more, well, substantially more on the runes and setting up ash tree runes, and I'll be providing readings, rune readings. So when I make the post, I always get asked what's a rune reading. I do have, feel free to DM me if you're curious. I would love to explain what a rune reading is, and this post in particular isn't to get into what a rune reading is. It's actually becoming a bit of a pattern as I'm packing up, preparing for a fair. I take a moment and I stop, and I've been making, I don't know what to call these, it's not procrastination videos, but it's just fun to take a break and do a little video on something that is popping into my mind, kind of burning in my mind a little bit. And that is the art of scrying. And I thought I'd talk about the beginner steps to the art of scrying. There's the art of scrying, if you are unfamiliar, and I'm putting it in the best words I know how. There may be a more technical way to explain it, but it is the ancient art of peering into the astral universe with the psychic mind, and it has been done for centuries. The Egyptians used to scry with oil lamps. I read about Queen Elizabeth I doing scrying with an obsidian, I think it was an obsidian, either an obsidian mirror or an obsidian stone with her astrologer. And it was to actually specifically tune into a very specific, what was it? The Enochian angelic realm, which I don't even know what that is. I just remember reading about it. So it can be used for all different purposes, and it doesn't have to be so mystical and far away. It's something that we can all learn to do and tune into. And of course, it can get very detailed, and there's people who studied it for years and years and years and years, and you can get very advanced with the techniques. But I just wanted to share what I've learned so that I can bridge that onto you if it's not something that you know about and you find interesting. So it can be done with all different things. Some people use crystals. I like to use water. I've been working a lot with water lately because it is talking to people that are listening, and it can be used, as I said, with some people used obsidian, some people use magic mirrors. You can make your own, or you can actually pick a magic mirror up, apparently from a metaphysical shop. I haven't worked with one before. And people sometimes like to say certain times or dates are better, but here I just want to talk about the basics and just introduce the idea a little bit. So how scrying works is you can use it actually to connect with spirits of the dead. If your intention is to connect with a loved one on the other side, that's a very common way to scry, is to connect. And you can I work with water, so that's what I'm going to speak to. The last video that I did, I actually collected water from where I was at. I collected water from Spider Lake and I put it in a jar to bring home just for scrying purposes. I picked up some of the rocks because water takes on the energy of what it's around, and I thought it would be nice to keep some of the rocks that came from that lake, and I actually included a rune here. And there's a specific intention and purpose that I want to scry with. So I associated that rune that I put in the water. You don't have to work with the runes. You can work just simply with the element of water. And I like to, it's suggested that you work in a dark room that doesn't have a lot of natural light with a candle, lighting a candle for intention, but not having the candle so close that it reflects into the water. And it's good to take a couple deep breaths and to peer through the water, almost as if you're peering. You can set a number in your mind. I for whatever reason, I say 10 feet deep past the surface of the water, and you get into a little bit of a trance state. You can call the waters in from the underworld. You can ask your own water and your own body to connect with the water in front of you. Some people like to talk to their own blood. We all have blood. We have cells within our blood. There's water in our blood. And so we can ask for the water of our body to connect with the water sitting in front of us. That's something else that I just automatically tuned into and thought was a good thing to do. And I use a scrying bowl. I like to use black. I find black the best to work with. This is just a ceramic bowl that I got from the thrift store for 99 cents. So you can use whatever black bowl works for you. And setting intention, setting protection, and really not making too much. A lot of people like to set certain ritual. It's good to know that you can practice your magic anywhere. So I always, even though I like to light my candle, sometimes you can put a cloak on to feel more magical, but it's good to get in the practice of not always getting too ritualistic. Of course, I'm not telling you how to practice your own magic, but what I found is sometimes when we listen to how other people do things, we can feel like unless we spin 3 times one way or like take we have our like patterns of 10, it can get too ritualistic and it can feel like you can't do your magic unless you have all these things. And it's good to know that you can do your magic anywhere and you don't always need the conditions to be perfect, because sometimes magic can be really useful in situations where you got to think quick and you don't always have time to light that incense. Although incense is really good. Ones that work really good for helping getting into a trance state that I know of are sage and cedar and mugwort. There's probably some others that you may know of, but those ones really help me. And I'm just trying to think if there's anything else to add. I just want it to feel like beginner steps right now. It's good to call in your I work with a psychopomp teacher. So the word psychopomp is a type of healing where you work with spirits of the dead. If that's not something or a term that you're familiar with, then just your spirit guides. You can ask for gods or goddesses to come in to help speak and help guide you, or just be present when you're connecting to whatever it is that you want to connect with. So just calling in that help too, to be around you, is really good. And this is very important. Take time. Just be really still and take time to see what it is that you need to see. And don't worry if you see nothing the first couple times. This can take practice. Sometimes all you see is mist or colors, and that's just you tuning into the energies that you first feel. Know that the magic isn't in the bowl. And of course, water is magical. I'm not saying that water or the stone that you're working with or whatever it is, it doesn't have its own magic. It does. But the magic is coming from you as well. So know that it's coming from you and believe that. And be open to the fact that it is going to work. If you close yourself off before you even start, you're going to be less successful in what it is that you see. And you may not see anything the first couple times, but if you keep it up, I do believe that with practice, and if you have the curiosity, you will begin to tap into that. So I think everyone has the ability to tap into this if they are curious. Curiosity almost always leads to, you're curious for a reason, so you will eventually be feeling energies, because you wouldn't be excited about it. It shows that that's already in you. So do believe that it's going to work, and it will. I know it will, actually. And when you're done, thank whatever guides came in. I think that that's really important, is to just be grateful to whatever it is that you invited in, and thank whatever protection that you invited in. And good luck. Have fun. That's the biggest thing. Okay, bye-bye.